All right, welcome back. So before I take a tactical pause and clean up some, it's kind of getting messy, so I gotta clean up and start over. So I got the nose steering servo on. Added a screw versus a set screw. Everything's nice and tight. This stuff is pretty much dry. I gotta finish painting these pieces. I'm gonna take, I've done this before, I'm gonna make some lenses to put over this, and I'll either use a servo box lid, just cut it out, and then rough the back side of it so it kind of makes it like, gives it that lens look for these things. Because I'm not putting any lights on it. And yeah, so still got to paint this bottom piece here, take this off. I'll do that when I take the wheels off to paint the rims or the wheels inside the tires that green color. So now that that's done, I've moved on and started doing other little things, going through tightening up these screws because they were all loose for the gear, added some washers and everything, and doing all that before I put the motors in. And kind of waiting on the hinge to dry. I ended up popping one of the hinges off this door here, so I put some, luckily it just kind of sits back in the same little glue area it was, so I put some new High-Sol on it, and it's kind of curing right now, so I'm not doing too much. Pulling out the SkyMaster wiring, or not wiring, the airline here. This stuff is better than what they used to use. It's the lesser Dura line that you can get. I've actually got some of this from MAP. It's more rubbery. I don't like this either. So plus they use these stupid plastic, very brittle T-fittings. It amazes me they can get these lines on those things. Anyways, but they will break. And to avoid the headaches, I just get rid of it and put my own stuff in. Plus I got to replace the gear door, all the gear door air cylinders. I pull those and replace those with ultra precision. I don't care what you say, if you use the stock SkyMaster, they're gonna leak, plain and simple. So, and I'm just going through tightening. I gotta tighten all these bolts up, put some Loctite on them, and do all that before I start putting things in where I can't get to it anymore. So, but also the main reason I'm doing this video is I was looking at this linear actuator. They designed this. Like, this isn't, I don't think this is something you can buy. So let me turn my camera down here just a little bit so I know what I'm looking at. All right, so this is it. This thing's massive. And I think the way this thing's designed, because it's essentially just a JP, the same little motors, this will screw off if you do it right. This is the same little worm drive that you have on a, pretty sure that goes on like their landing gear. That seemed weird, just kind of jumped around a little bit. Let me know if this thing is lagging or if it's just the image on my camera that I'm seeing. Well, anyways, so this is just the motor part right here. This stuff looks like it's machined, and the way it looks like it's designed is that this is really supposed to be what you attach. I mean, you're not pulling this thing apart. I mean, this thing's pretty beefy because they have these set screws to guide it in. As long as these are tight, these guts are not coming out. And this thing has like a stop, and once it gets to this end piece here, it won't go any further. And the same for going in. There's a little groove cut here for this set screw, so it runs through the in and out of that, so you got to kind of keep it, it's got a lot of grease on it. But if you look at this, you got this little area here, and you know, it's got like this dog bone looking thing in it. And looking at these things, I don't know, I would love to see how they do it. So these are the chutes, and there's two of them, and this is the end of one, and then you got these, so they tie them all together. They do this heat shrink over it with this little metal piece here with these, essentially this is fishing stuff right here on like a Looks like the stuff that you use for wing wires and everything. It's that steel wire that's covered with the plastic with a little clamp here. And I don't know, because the way this is attached inside that fiberglass piece, it would essentially pull through it. So I'm guessing they want you to attach these inside the airframe, and then this kind of, I don't know how they've got it designed. That's what I'm trying to find out. I'd love to see how SkyMaster, because it looks like to me like you can run one up here, and that's kind of what it's doing. It's running up and down on this, and maybe these go through back towards and secure at some place inside the fuselage. So as these are attached, like this, it's essentially just moving up and down, kind of through here. That's what I'm looking. Or you can just attach it straight to this. Like, I really think I would hope the way this beefy thing, that they would just attach it to this, and then it pushes the whole piece in and out. So if you've seen how SkyMaster hooks these things up, let me know. Because that is beefy. You could knock somebody upside the head with that. So I feel like this is designed to hold the load. Really, I do. And, you could either attach this to something inside the fuselage to keep it from pulling through, or do like they're doing, is running these long wires into the fuselage and having it just kind of push beside. But that just seems dumb to do this kind of a beefy drive for that setup. So it makes me wonder. So do you just attach it to the end here and then secure this inside the fuselage somehow, versus just securing it in the fiberglass tube? Like maybe run a rod through, make some kind of mount that this just attaches to the fuselage itself. I don't know. No damn instructions. Nobody really shows installing it. They just do it. And from the way I've seen people talk in videos, that this is just there to push the chutes out, which, if that's the case, then I'm just going to use a basic linear actuator, because this is almost 200 grams. There's no point in having this big beefy thing just to push out a chute. You can use a servo, you can use like I said, I'll just use a linear actuator if that's the case, because it saves me a lot of weight and it's faster. And I don't need the stupid the JP controller that nobody seems to like. So if you know anything about the chute, let me know. References, if you got a video, if you've seen somebody do a build on one, if you've seen one of SkyMaster's plug and play and how they've done it, let me know. Let me know in the comments. So, but for now, I'm gonna stop, let this epoxy high sol cure, and I think I got some glue. Yes, I gotta clean that glue off. I'm gonna clean up, I'm gonna go work out, and then I'll come back tonight and do some more stuff. But let me know if you know anything about that chute system. Please. Thank you. Oh, and now that I took some of the pressure off this strut, this thing turns a lot better. You can actually drive it with the servo driver and the fine points, and it doesn't like bind up the servo, doesn't get any crazy high amps like it was. Still got some sponge to it. I'll probably have to add some to it when I get the nose and all the batteries on. But I think that's the trick to these, is if they have, like the F-14's main gear, if you have too much pressure in them, they just won't, it pushes against that rubber seal too hard, and it just makes that turning motion just too much. So you guys have a good one. I'm gonna clean up and go work out. Cheers.